Hey everyone, this is Lisa from TRW, and in this video I'm going to show you how to program cut settings to get the perfect cut with Siser StripFlock vinyl. Now this vinyl is a pretty thick vinyl. It's really awesome when you have it applied because it has that nice fuzzy look, but cutting it can be kind of tricky. So I'm going to go over, try out some different test cuts, and figure out some good cut settings that work for my machine that hopefully can be a good guide for you with your Silhouette CAMEO. So if you want to learn how to use Siser StripFlock, just go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so I'm in Silhouette Studio. Now, StripFlock is a heat transfer vinyl. I have been doing a series of videos on cutting heat transfer vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and just reverse my design to flip horizontally to cut in reverse. Now, I do have more videos where I explain why we reverse it, how it works, so definitely check that out if you can. And then we're going to go over to our page setup, and I'm going to turn off my cutting mat because I'm not going to cut my StripFlock on a cutting mat. So let's have that brought over like this. You want to have it all within this red line. And now let's go to our send panel. Now, I always like to program my own custom cut settings. I think that you're going to get the best results from that. So if you click this arrow at the bottom at user defined, you'll see my custom cut settings. Now, if you notice, I don't have one in for StripFlock. So we're going to add one in right now and do some test cuts to figure out what works. So let's add new material type. So right here, new material, let's rename that. And we'll name it StripFlock. Hit enter. And then we're editing it. I can click on another material and then click on StripFlock, and you'll see this little bar will change. All right, so let me go over to our website. On our website, we have this documentation page that has different cut specs. Now, remember, these are guides. They're meant to help you, but they're not like the end of the day, like the only way it cuts. So I'm going to use this and do a test cut and see where I need to adjust from there. So right here, we have our Siser, and you can see we have StripFlock right here. So my blade at 4, my speed at 10, and my force at 14 through 16. So let's go over here. Let's do my blade at 4, speed at 10, and then let's start my force at 15 right there. So let's save that. So I'm still in my edit panel. Let's click this X. And just so you know, right here, even though I edited it, it's still going to show me the last thing I cut. So let me click this drop down, click on StripFlock, check these settings, and now we're all good. So I'm going to jump over to my machine, load my material, and we're going to start doing some test cuts. All right, let's go ahead and load my material. So the first thing I notice is that this roller is all the way on the edge. This means I was cutting with the cutting mat, so I'm just going to lift this roller, bring it over, and have this set for a 12-inch cut. And now I can load it. I'm going to hold it against this blue line over here and press load. So now we're all set. So I made sure that my cut space, if you look over here, I don't have a cutting mat. So we're going to go over, take this, and let's do a test cut. Alright, so my test cut is done. Let's go ahead and unload. So we're going to check a couple things. We're going to look at the back of our carrier. We're going to make sure it hasn't cut all the way through, make sure it's not bumpy or indented. You can very slightly see the cut through there. It looks like possibly I may need to increase my thickness, but we're going to see. So let's go ahead, lift this up. So pretty good. So my box came off and it left that triangle back pretty cleanly. So those settings look pretty good. Let me go over, load in my material again. And now I'm going to hit this little arrow, and we're going to move it over just a tiny bit. And that's because that top corner has my test cut. If I were to cut it just now, it would cut right over it. So let's go back to my screen. Here's my design. I'm going to go over and typically I would make this smaller. It's kind of a big design. But hey, now you guys can see it. So we're going to take this, we're going to go over, and we are going to send. So you just want to double check when you have really thick materials like this. When you do your big cut, sometimes it may press down too hard and you may need to adjust your settings or use a cutting mat. So my cut is finished. You can kind of see as I move it, those indents from the cut, which is pretty good. Let's go over, unload. And so now we have our design all ready to weed. So I'm going to use my pick tool, grab this corner, and just lift up. So super easy. We're just going to keep going from there. So I'm not getting any resistance with weeding. Sometimes my design can my vinyl will rip a little bit, but it's not so much, like it doesn't have anything to do with the cut. It's just that it's a thicker material, so it's not as flexible. So we're going to keep going from there. And we're just going to continue on. StripFlock is a cold peel, so sometimes cold peel vinyls will give you a little bit of resistance when you weed it off the carrier, but it worked out pretty well. So it's this cool fuzzy material, which I really enjoy. Let me see if I can get that to focus for you guys. So it's got that. Nice little fuzzies, which I think looks really nice, and it's great for like pillows or kids stuff. And then we have our final cut. You can see the colors right there. It weeded super easily, wasn't an issue at all. So that is how you figure out your cut settings with Siser StripFlock vinyl. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If this video helped you, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss any more videos.